Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is December 21st. It is 3:01 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. I think the markets are closed now. That's good. We can get a nice view of things and how they're looking. So let's start the day looking at FinViz. Well, first of all, Bitcoin Daily View got more for you there. Check it out. I kind of move things around a little bit. Indicators that I use, stuff I endorse, etc., etc. Go there, check it out. If you want, buy me a coffee. Doesn't hurt. BitcoinDailyView.com. Be there. If you want, the cool kids are always hanging out there, just refreshing it all day. Anyway, U.S. oil spot. Look at that. A beautiful move up today on the daily chart. I can dig it. Dollar strength index, a green day, still below the 20 WMA and below the 200 moving average and below the 50 moving average. In general, dollar strength index is not super strong moving average wise on the daily chart. It did have a just green day today. There you go. S&P 500, nice beautiful green day today, got back above the 50 moving average. Of course, it's still below the 20 WMA and 200 moving average on the daily charts, but breaking above the 50 moving average is definitely bullish. I like seeing that. Tech 100 below all important moving averages, but a green day today. Gold here in the middle bottom, silver next to it on the right there. Kind of inconsequential days as far as today's move, but if you do notice, both gold and silver the last couple days. Let me actually do a little bit of a real quickie on this here. Let me get a forecast here. If we look, like gold in the last 47 days is up 11.3, basically 11.4% over the last 47 days. That ain't bad for gold, I'm looking at silver here real quick. Let's kind of measure it from here and say gold's up about 32% last 65 days. So definitely, we're seeing a nice move on those. Nice to see those kind of get, some traction. So many people, they bet their house on silver and gold. So nice to see some returns. That is really not bad returns for silver and gold. All right, FinViz here. Let's look at the Dow closed in the green up 1.6%. NASDAQ closed in the green up 1.54%. S&P 500, which Bitcoin's very tied to. They tend to almost mirror each other, in my opinion. Within about a 90% accuracy, up 1.49%. S&P 500 looking really nice today. As you can see, Apple had a great day. Google, not so great. Amazon really showed up for work today. Energy sector, nice and green. So there you go. S&P 500, not much red on that chart. It was a good day. Not astronomically incredible, but, with the market the way things are right now, I will call today really, really nice. Looking at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin in the top 100. Bitcoin coming in at 16,791. Cool. That's cool. We're staying above 16,000. I like that with the current volatility. Looking at the top 100 cryptos, nothing really in the green enough for me to truly note here. So I just won't even bother. I do like seeing Ethereum Classic up 4.5% today. Not bad. I still have no idea what Ethereum Classic is for. I don't even get its purpose in life, but I do believe it is an older version. It would be like with the proof of whatever. It's not Ethereum 2.0, I guess, but the original Ethereum. What is it? Proof of stake, proof of work, whatever. It's the more energy intensive one. So I think that's where it may find its fame in life. I like watching Ethereum Classic. I like trading it because it does have some volatility, and overall, it seems to be, at least chart-wise, a project, a coin that has some potential. Looking at longs versus shorts on Binance, 6.61% long, 38% short, definitely a long bias on Binance for Bitcoin. And then for Ethereum, 56% long, 43% short. Did I miss something here? I know I missed something. Where's my one little chart thing? I'm missing the exchanges. Where are they at here? Go down here and grab these. I will find it one sec. There we go. Sorry to keep you waiting. Looking at the exchanges, like the top 20, top 30, top 40, top 50 exchanges, really all in the red today as far as volume. Not much volume today at all. Looking at derivatives, we'll check Binance, 17 billion in derivatives, basically leverage longs and shorts, 42% down, volume last 24 hours. That is extraordinarily low volume for leverage trades there for derivatives. Anyway, not much volume on the exchanges today. So I'm glad to see that Bitcoin in general had a positive price action day. Here's Bitcoin on the hourly chart. Not incredibly exciting. We had a pump starting around like Monday, and it's kind of worn itself out. But rather than, at least we don't have a BART pattern going on here. Nice to see we didn't kind of pump on Monday and then just BART it basically. So I like seeing that. And there you go. It's under the 200 moving average. It's under the 314 moving average. A little bit of a squeeze indicator that fired off starting around Monday, kind of giving it back. Directional next is pretty weak. ADX isn't that great. Binary candles not looking that hot. I mean, in general, there you go. I'm just glad it's kind of staying above 16,000. Looking at my favorite 45-minute chart, looks about the same. On the 45-minute chart, do note though, the 200 moving average is certainly trended down, and it's kind of starting to work on it. I would definitely put an alert in for a break above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart and the 314 moving average. I think especially if you get a break between the 200 and 314, we can find support there that might be kind of grooving. 45-minute chart looks like that is possible. All right, let me check here. So I have my other little screen up. All right. We'll keep this moving. Let's real quick look at a daily chart here. Bam. Once again, okay, I'm gonna leave that indicator in there. So daily chart, something I like seeing here on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Actually, I don't like seeing it. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Something that's not so hot on the daily chart to see is this. Daily MACD has broken negative, so there you go. That's always going to be a lot more downwards pressure than upwards pressure. That certainly is for sure. So if I maximize this, we are starting to get kind of a nice buy zone here around like 15,500, right around like 15,500, 16,000. I'm not saying to play that. I'm just saying this is a rather interesting indicator. I'll put it over at Bitcoin Daily View if it's not there already, but it's called Customizable Pivot Support Resistance Zones. It is interesting in how it works, and it does find these things, especially on the daily chart. So, we're starting to get according to that indicator, kind of a bottom, kind of a buy zone right around like, let's say 16,500, 16,750 or so, so for what it's worth, indicators kind of see some action down there. Let's turn that off. I'm going to go to a 3-day chart here real quick, and just take a look at this 3-day chart. I've done this many times. Sorry, I don't already have this up. It would be quicker. But if we go and visit the March of 2020, when we visited the 3K range there, if you look, this fib sequence really sticks very well. I like it. This moving average right here, the purple one, is the 20 WMA. Weighted moving average, I believe it stands for. And we are at least challenging that. We're not below that, so there is some hope. One thing I don't like seeing is if you look here, we are below the 786 fib line. We have come up and challenged it, but got rejected. We haven't totally given up. We're not really pulling away too far from the 20 WMA, which is kind of like, I want to stick by that. If you're going to dump, you're going to lose that. If you're going to pump, you're going to lose it. So anyway, I like what I'm seeing. At least we're kind of sticking to the 20 WMA. We haven't totally given up on the 786. We have at least, challenged it, as you can see on this fib sequence. So let's see what happens. If we do dump, if we continue to have more downside, it's probably going to happen now because we're below the 786. That has been support in the past. We have wicks to it in the past. I think it's pretty valid, that 786 level, and right around 17,732 and 10 cents to be exact. So anyway, if we were to break below that, because Bitcoin is just, the whole world's kind of crazy right now. Just looking at levels that we might see, like 11,888. There's some support there. You go below that, you're kind of looking at like, you start looking at like like around 10,000 even or so. Let's see what happens. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if we can't hold this support here, if we don't get it back above that 786, kind of if we sort of lose the reality of this fib sequence that I think has been very, very accurate, that starts back here at the like I say 3K visit back in March of 2020. This is really stuck really well, especially the 786 too. We visited it back here in November of 2020. We wicked down to it on the June 2022. We wicked to it just perfectly, if you notice that. So let's see if we can stay above this. If not, definitely going to have some levels that might be somewhat kind of Armageddon laden, but let's see. Regardless, definitely you can trade against Bitcoin. I'm trading against Bitcoin, trading against USDT and USDC. I'm a little bit hesitant when I make gains trading against Bitcoin right now, if I want to keep them in Bitcoin or sell them to USDT or something like that. But anyway, however you want to roll. One thing I found today, which looks pretty good, and this list, the Cayenne list, this is my little Cayenne list. That's what I call it. I'll copy it right here and I'll stick it in the comment in the live chat. I'll put it as a comment to the video too, just in case you want to follow it. It's just the alts that I'm looking at right now rather actively. They're usually all on KuCoin, just so everybody can play. And XMR BTC, Monero BTC, this thing has been running up for quite a while. And I like what I'm seeing here. This is a 4-hour chart. It's got a nice little slight upwards channel going. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional indexes in the green. ADX is rising. Binary candles are looking good. It's below the 200 moving average. All is looking very good with this chart. I really like it. So, I mean, as you can see, this thing has just been like a rocket ship to Pluto for quite a while. If I get rid of all these, if I get rid of that, and let's just do a new upward channel. This is something I really like seeing. I find these can be very powerful moves. If we take a look, okay, you see this here. So I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, I'm gonna call this my upwards channel. I don't want to waste your time trying to get it perfect. We're always taking a little bit of creative license with channels, I think, or at least, well, I do. Not so that it says what I want it to say, but just so that it fits. You know what I mean? That it reflects reality. So anyway, as you can see, we've been cranking up ever since around like 29th of October. Monero's been cruising. It dumped. It broke the 200 moving average. It wicked to the 314 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Came back up. It's been challenging the bottom of this channel that it was in, and it has wicked above it. We kind of got above it today. Now we're sort of down below it, but I like seeing that. And with strong indicators that we're seeing here, I like the squeeze. I especially like the directional index. I like the ADX. It's in the right spot. It's coming in at like 25. That's perfect. Binary candles are in the green. I like what I'm seeing. Let me actually fire up this template here. Sorry to blow everybody's mind there. I didn't mean to make that sudden jolt. But let's just look at this. Like here. This is on the 4-hour chart. I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart once again. This is the I linked to it. It's volume analysis. I should be linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com. If not, I will. It's on TradingView. It shows volume, and it's not just buy or sell. It's a culmination of both. So we can see some nice little. You can see the price action, especially on the 4-hour chart, does get kind of these little. Green is average, blue is none, or very, very low. Yellow is more, red is the most. So anyway, we're seeing some nice little perks here in the volume. I like to see that. Good to go. Monero, I think this guy here, XMR, is probably going to get back in this channel. If it does, the thing really is if it does get back up here, probably challenges it, finds support, and starts moving up, I definitely could see a visit to the top of this channel again. And that would be, let's face it, that would be pretty darn groovy. I like to see that. So definitely Monero versus BTC is one that I'm watching. It's a great way to make some sweet sats, and it definitely looks like it's back in the running. I do have I don't have a position in it yet, but if it does get above this, if it does get back in the channel and finds support at the bottom and starts moving up, I'll put a stop right here at the 200 moving average, right below it, wherever that is, and there you go. If I wanted to get really little, and that's using a 4-hour chart to trade, the 45-minute chart, one of my favorites, is looking good, and we definitely visited. We've tested it. We've tested it like the bottom of this channel 1, 2, 3 times. Let's see if we can get above it. Squeeze is looking good. Directional index is waning, but not too bad. Binary candles are good. Let's look at the volume indicator here. Some nice little burst of volume. So anyway, there you go. For what it's worth, I'm watching XMR. I think for one thing, it's a very valid program in my very valid. Monero is a privacy coin, and according to some, people that I've talked to, or I've listened to, I should say, they tend to think that this is definitely a place that some of the big money goes to before Bitcoin makes moves to the up or down, usually to the down. They'll hide out in XMR. Anyway, for what it's worth, that's just conjecture, but I've heard it from some pretty knowledgeable people. And of course, they don't have evidence. It's just conjecture. They just think it looks that way when you compare the charts when Bitcoin makes big moves. Maybe I'll start comparing both of them. We could just have a little thing where we look at BTC and then XMR and kind of see what they're doing. See if we can see some trends that some kind of XMR is kind of an indicator. We'll try that out. Anyway, Clay versus USDT challenge net 200 moving average again. Really, I just don't have much to really look at right now. I don't want to spend too much time on it. The alts are just not that hot. I mean, I looked at a bunch today. The one that moves me is XMR, and it's not really quite in a place that I want to even get into right now. Ape is looking good. I like that. Ape's getting ready to challenge that 200 moving average again on the 45-minute chart. We'll see what happens. A lot of them are doing this. I definitely would wait till we get before I got excited about it and all. It needs to pretty much burst and then find support above the 314 and keep moving. I don't want to get into something right now that bounces between the 200 and the 314 like that on the 45-minute chart. That's not going to move me that much. So anyway, guys, let's just keep on rolling. Like I say, there's not a lot of exciting alts right now, but Monero is one that I'm liking right now. If we keep moving, here's some news. Let's crank this out real quick. Washington, Oregon joined California in requiring all new vehicle sales to be EVs by 2035. This starts to kick in around 2026, requiring 35% of all new passenger vehicle sales have to be EVs. Then it increases by 6 to 9% each year until the vehicles covered by the rule must be zero emissions. Qualifying vehicles can be EV, solar powered, or plug-in hybrid vehicles if they can cover at least 50 miles on battery power. Anyway, I'm just covering this because I'm going to start covering, just throwing out, not as advice, not as financial advice, but I'm getting back into traditional trading. So I'm just going to just throw out maybe some things that I'm looking at there too. The company that makes charging stations, doing quite well. I'll mention that in a further daily view. Just a quick shout out to anybody who might be doing any kind of traditional trading. Like EVs or not, charging stations are being made and there ain't enough of them, so that company is doing quite well. There's one company that kind of makes most of them, and it's doing quite well. And then of course, here you go. A federal bill seeks to ban gas-powered vehicles by 2035. I actually read this article. It's really weak. I couldn't quite find any real hooks that this thing has into anything that makes sense, but there it goes. I can't quite figure who the people are actually pushing this, whatever. It just says West Coast Democrats this week introduced federal legislation that would ban U.S. sales of new vehicles with internal combustion engines by 2035. I think they mean at a state level, they mean this Washington, Oregon joined California. I think that's what she's really talking about. So anyway, let's see what happens. I think this is going to offer well, whether you like EVs or not, definitely it's going to offer a lot of traditional stocks that could make a lot of money. Just see this, no matter what, I can't help what's going on in the world. I personally think electric vehicles are more of I don't think they're as they seem. Anyway, guys, I won't go into all that. I'm too tired today. Ukraine to boost Belarus border defenses. Putin meets Lukashenko. So Putin went over to, I think, where'd they meet? Ukraine is tightening up the defenses on its border with Belarus over fears that Russia may be preparing for a Russian attack. Yeah, the news came as Vladimir Putin traveled to Minsk to meet where the original Minsk agreements were made, to meet Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko. Now, after they chatted, and these two are bros, okay? They get along quite well. So after these two chatted, and as you can see, Belarus is here. Well, Russia's over here. Belarus is here. Ukraine is here. If you want to see a really big picture of that, here's Belarus, Belarus, however you pronounce it. I'm a dumbass American. I have no idea how you say Belarus. But anyway, here's Moscow. Here's Russia over here. Here's Belarus, whatever that place is. And here's Ukraine down here. So really, this has always been the thing where, and if you look at the map, this is why, Russia gets very uptight about Ukraine, because that's where Napoleon kind of cruised over here from France. He marched all the way over here, and he attacked through Ukraine. This dude over here in Germany with his crew, they kind of came over here. They attacked through Ukraine. That's why Putin's always been like, absolutely no to NATO in Ukraine. So anyway, a serious deep shit moment for Ukraine is what's happening right now. Because if you look at its strategic location here, it's north of Ukraine, okay? And right now, Ukraine has enough to handle with its border here to the to its east. This is a huge border, and Russia's already pretty much down here at what's Crimea? Not Crimea, Odessa. I think that's pretty much the port, and they got about like 20 to 30% of the landmass. Pretty much, it's theirs now. Some actually has been reincorporated into Russia, and Ukraine ain't getting it back. So if forces do come down from the north, that's just it. It's over. Forget it. They can't handle it. And what's happening? Tanks in Belarus are seen moving from Polanka train station towards Brest. Interesting name. As you can see, T-80 BV tanks spotted in Belarus. So basically, right after Putin made his little visit, I mean, there is mega crap tons of heavy gear rolling into Belarus, which is north of Ukraine, which is going to roll into the Ukraine. So pretty much, it's over. This is an interesting video. I thought I'd just mention it. If you're not familiar with what's happening in the Arizona right now, it's huge. It's got international attention. Believe me, if you live here, you're feeling it. You won't believe what the expert witness just said. This is the whole Katie Hobbs and the other lady, whatever her name is. Katie Hobbs and Carrie Lake. So Carrie Lake, the conservative person, governor, and then of course Hobbs, who has supposedly won. It's gone to court today. It's been in court. It's been in court. It's beginning to unfold, and so far the evidence for election tampering, which has to be the case has to be made very quickly for that, and that was made. The judge threw a lot of it out. Did allow like 2 items, and now they're kind of grilling the expert witnesses on this stuff, and it's just not going well for the Hobbs campaign. So anyway, this crap is really real, and it's a street fight. We'll see how it rolls. This is what I'll just mention here. For traditional, anyway, there are companies now that are strictly unvaccinated transfusions that are collecting. I don't want to say too much on the YouTube, but basically, if you can see this, this is heavy stuff, and it's really happening. And this is going to really explode, I think, as we move into 2003. We're going to have 2 different blood banks in this country, if not world. That's crazy, but I'm seeing endless articles about this. People, a growing amount of people, do not want the GMO blood. Okay, and one more thing here. If I can find it, where to go? I think I lost it. Oh crap, where'd it go? Here it is. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I had a great little feel-good video here on LinkedIn to show everybody, but you know what? It just somehow disappeared. So sorry about that. No feel-good video. Is it over here? No. Nope. Sorry, guys. We'll just leave it at that. So I said this was a little bit long. I'll always do the news at the end, so if you don't care, you can just dump it. Anyway, you mustn't let the dystopian nightmare dim your sparkle. Don't. I'm glad you're here, Bitcoin truth seekers. And for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, really, you make the world a better place. You punch an evil globalist right in the stones. It's awesome. Keep it up. Keep being you. It's important. If you're listening to this, you rock. If you don't, you're kind of a loser, but you didn't hear that, so it's all right. Take care. BitcoinReviewCom. Check it out. Got more for you there.